What is going on, guys? In this video, I am going to be going over options contracts. Before we get into that, recently I've been getting so many questions, people asking me for one-on-one tutoring, people asking me to go over charting or how to select options contracts or how to enter a trade or exit a trade. So many beginner questions, or even those who are not beginners but they just have not found consistency or profitability. I've been making these YouTube videos, but I guess they are not the best place to be giving education. It's not perfectly categorized or catered for education, in my opinion, compared to this other platform that I recently found called Skool, Skool. So this is a platform that is catered to education, whether it's trading or business or anything. And in the coming weeks, I am going to be uploading my videos and all other educational material in an order that is easy to understand on that platform. So make sure you guys look out for that. In the meantime, if you can do me a favor and make sure you create a profile on skool.com, so when that comes out, you guys are ready and prepared. So without wasting any more time, let's go into the charts. Alrighty, guys. So in front of me here, I have SPY. So we can see in the last trading day on Friday, SPY came to this 498 area before rejecting lower. So just say you've seen this 498 resistance zone and you thought to yourself, hey, I want to take a short position here because SPY looks bearish to me. So which contract would you be selecting? So the price for SPY is 498. Which contract would you be selecting? So if we go on Webull, we can see when we type in SPY, it gives us a bunch of contracts that we can select. What is the first thing that we do? So I just type in SPY up here and I select single option. I don't do any of these other ones, just single option. And then you have the option to select either calls or puts. So as you know, calls means you believe the contracts are going to go higher, you believe the stock is going to go higher, and puts is the opposite. You believe it is going to go lower. Now, you have the option to select any of these expiration dates because options contracts expire. They expire and those contracts need to be sold before expiration if you don't want them to expire worthless. So what many traders will do is they go to 1 day expiration or 2 day expiration because when these contracts move in your direction, they usually move fast and they grow quickly. But the opposite is also true. If this goes against you or if there is any type of consolidation in the stock, your contracts will get destroyed. So I would never select 1 day expiration. And if I do, I am in the mindset that this contract will most likely go to zero. Okay? So my first thing that I like to do is make sure that if I am buying the contract, it is at least 5 days away. So 5 days, 8 days, 9 days, I like these contracts that gives me more time. Buying time when it comes to trading options is very important. So you do not get caught in a place where the stock goes against you and your contracts become worthless. So let's say we go to 8 day expiration. Now, SPY, we'll actually ignore this 498 area. If that was the current price, then I would use that. But just say SPY is at this current price of 494 and you believe it's going lower. So you believe it's going lower, you go ahead and you buy some puts. Okay, which put options would I be buying? So there are 3 options that you have, either out of the money, in the money, or at the money. What does this mean? So just to make this easier to understand, let's not even say puts, let's say calls. So just say SPY is 494 and you believe it's going up. So you buy some calls, right? Just to keep it simple for now. So just say you're gonna buy calls and you say, I'm gonna buy calls that expire in 8 days because I don't want my contracts to go worthless because of buying a expiration that is too close to expiring. So I go 8 days. And SPY, here it tells us SPY's price is 495. Now, out of the money means you are buying contracts that are above this price, that are so far above this price. It is out of the money. So if you buy 496 calls, it's out of the money. 497 out of the money. 500 out of the money. And you can see the price to buy these get cheaper, and they get cheaper because they know that these contracts will have a harder time to reach profitability. So what I do is, if SPY is 495, I will at least buy 495 calls. So SPY is at 495, I will buy 495, which is right here, 495 calls. And that is 542. And if I want to stay a little bit safer, I'm going to go this way, buy contracts that are more expensive. So either 494 calls or 493 calls or 492 calls. They get more expensive because they are less risky. These contracts will not be affected by time decay as much. Now, what dictates time decay and how much we make on these contracts? And that is delta and theta. So delta tells us how much money we make. If we come to the 595 calls, I can see it says 0.52, which means every dollar SPY moves, you are going to make $52. And theta tells you how much money you are going to lose. And we can see it says here 0.25, which means every day these contracts will lose $25, which is not that bad. As compared to if you go to 1 day expiration and just say you buy contracts that are out of the money. So you buy $500 calls. These calls are going to cost you $52. But look here, every day they lose $22. So without you doing anything at all, these contracts will lose 50% of their value every day, which means if you don't sell these contracts right away, they basically go worthless. And we can see it only makes $5 per dollar move. So is this worth buying? Is it worth buying because the contracts are cheaper? Absolutely not. So rule number one, buy expirations that are a little further out. And rule number two, buy contracts that are either at the money or in the money, which are these higher ones. And if we go to Robinhood, we can see the same thing if that is something you use more often. So if we go to trade options, we can see it tells us the price of SPY. We go to expiration date. We make sure we go to a further expiration date and then buy either the 494 calls, 493. Make sure they are more expensive. They are below this price. If you're buying calls, it is below this price. And if you are buying puts, make sure it is above this price. So go towards the more expensive contracts. Those will be less risky and you will have a much higher chance of profitability. And I think I don't know if Robinhood still does it, but they used to do it where they would tell you the chance of profit. And back then, you would be able to see that the 1-day expiration contracts have a 99% chance of not being in profit. I think they took that feature away because they want people to be buying them. So okay guys, that is all for this video. If you have any questions about anything that I went over today, make sure you guys send me a DM or comment down below, and make sure you guys go on Skool.com. I will leave the link in the bio. Go on there and create an account today so you guys are ready in a couple weeks when I put material on there. All right guys, have a lovely weekend and safe trading tomorrow. Peace.